Hey, folks, it's me, your old pal, Officer Hank Schlitz, the Game Cop, coming to you over the internet to bring you tips and tricks and facts and fun in the way that only me, your old pal, the Game Cop, can. And, hey, how's it going, folks? I'm here again. You thought you might have seen the last of me because I sort of indicated that in my last video. I had a sponsorship deal with Ubisoft that did not go so well. Nobody watched my videos and I did not get paid for them. And that left me quite down in the dumpity, if you will. So I found the longest, tallest bridge in town and I stood on the edge of it with my little tippy toes hanging off the edge. And I was ready to do the ultimate deed. And then I heard a little ding come out of my pocket. And I thought that, is it an elf in my pants? But no, it was my phone. And my phone was indicating something. And I looked at it and I was like, what do you want, phone? I'm busy. I'm about to kill myself. And it said, hey, guess what you've got, Hank? Someone subscribed to your channel that isn't yours truly yourself. And I was like, what the fuck? Someone saw this? Someone wants to know more about old Hank Schlitzy. Someone seeing something in my ideology that they felt they need to show solidarity to. Oh my goodness, gosh me! I don't need to die. I hope you'll step off that ledge, my friend. And I did. I will understand. And I hear you, and I really, really appreciate it. I can't tell you enough. You've literally saved my life, and what am I going to do with this life? I'm going to keep making videos, because that's why you subscribe to this thing, dummy. And with that in mind, what are we talking about today? Well, friend, we're talking about gardening tips. Yes, and what is gardening? It's a fun hobby that, people get into to grow their own food and make their own delicious treats that they can enjoy at home. But most people don't know one thing about it. They just think they can buy a bunch of burpee seeds and chuck them on the ground, and next thing you know, they're going to be having a chef salad hopping into the plate. And that's not how farming and gardening works. So I'm here to give you Hank Schlitz top 5 gardening tips so that you can have that thumb nice and green and have all your corn getting high as an elephant's eye. That's what we all want, right? So here's my gardening tip number 1. Tip number 1 from Hank Schlitz the Game Cop about gardening is fire. Yes, the first thing you got to do with any garden is set it aflame. If you just set up your spot, no matter where it is, on the roof of your building or, next to where your children play, a swimming pool, wherever it is, just cut out a nice rectangle that you're going to put all your plants and flowers in and set it on fire. Just douse it with gasoline and lighter fluid, any kind of immolating material you can. You really want to get these flames nice and high. We don't want some small smoldering embers here. What we want is flames that at least lick to about 10 feet high in the sky. That's the minimal distance you want the flames to reach from your garden, because what we want, you see, is, it might look like a nice clean plot of land, but every piece of land has memories. It has ghosts and goblins and ghoulies and skeletons living inside it. Oh my God, and you don't want that messing up your plants and making them look all gross and ghoulish. So what you have to do is kill it with the fire. You have to destroy the ground's memories by setting it on fire and getting it deep, deep into the ground. And the height of the flames will indicate how deep the heat is going down into the ground and turning all of those evil spirits into nice fertilizing elements to make your plants all grow nice and tall. So you have to do that first thing. Just section it off and set that bitch alight and make it go nice and high, and do it at night so everyone can see what you're doing, and make an event out of it. Everyone loves a big old fire. Don't just keep it to yourself. That's a little hidden tip in here. When you make a fire, share the fire, because you don't want to be selfish and keep all that fire to yourself. That's not a good way to live. Okay, so that's a good tip number 1. Tip number 2 for gardening. Tip number 2 is you need to dedicate at least 2 to 3 hours every day to screaming and yelling in your garden. This is essential to make sure that all the critters know what's what, okay? If you make sure that you're screaming and yelling, you encourage the plants. You say, grow, goddammit, grow, you motherfucker. What do you think I put you in the ground for? Just to sit there and die? No, you live, you grow, and I'm gonna eat you, I'm gonna poop you out, make more. You do that and you yell and you scream. You also scream so that all the animals know, get out of here. This is not good place for you. Don't eat my corn. It's for me. So that's what you have to do, is yell and yell and yell and just make your intentions known to the plants and the animals, because that's the only language they understand, is the language of fury. All right. So that's tip number 2. Just scream and scream and scream at least 2 to 3 hours a day, nonstop. Make sure you have a nice glass of water, something to keep your throat nice and hydrated, because it will hurt. Hour 1 getting past that's going to be a real difficulty. But then after that, numbness and a kind of a dull ache starts to set in that is much more tolerable. So just keep screaming and screaming and screaming, and eventually it'll hurt less. And then your plants will be nice and tall and huge, and every creature in God's creation will know that this spot has been set out for you. Okay, so tip number three. Tip number three is you have to use the right kind of soil, the right kind of dirt. And I gotta tell you, folks, there ain't no better dirt than human dirt. God put it in our butt for a reason. We're farming animals. We're made to farm and grow delicious treats out of the ground. And, there's nothing better you can buy from Home Depot or Lowe's or any of those places than that coming out of your own back end, all right? You just got to make sure that you use the right kind of food to create the right kind of consistency for the soil that you're going to want to grow. So what I like to do is but the night before I'm going to do some gardening, I eat a lot of chocolate-flavored granola because that gives me the kind of like peat mossy, really kind of like a chunky pudding type of consistency that I really like. It seems to do well for my summer squash. So I have my results don't lie, and I'd show you right now. But anyway, the human dirt is the best kind of dirt to use. So make sure the day before you do any kind of gardening that you get yourself nice and loaded up and full of fuel to be spraying out onto your beautiful veranda or whatever you call it. And number four tip is choose a bird friend to watch your garden while you're gone. Now, you had previously scared away all the animals, but there's a reason you have to do it every day, because these animals, they're just going to keep coming. They're going to see the delicious strawberries and cucumbers that you're growing, and they're going to want to gnaw them all down. So you have to, the animals are going to keep coming. Now, you're going to notice you have to notice the temperament of these animals, and you have to pick one to be a friend, because you're not always going to be able to be at home watching your garden and screaming at all the animals that come by and, pooping on the flowers when they need health. So you're going to need a bird to kind of fly around and keep an eye on the area and let you know what's going on when you come home. I have a bird friend here named Timothy. He's a chickadee, and he's a really sweet guy, and he just kind of keeps an eye on things while I'm gone, and I really appreciate it. And I tell him every day, thanks, Timothy, thanks for keeping an eye on. I can tell you're doing a real good job here. And it's a way to feel close to nature. Make a bird friend, and then it does the work for you. And birds are stupid. Like I love Timothy. He's a good guy, but he will literally do anything for a couple of sunflower seeds. And he seems to have no concept of how easy those are to get. I can get a pound of those from the gas station for $1.50, and he will go to hell and back for one of those things. So just keep in mind that birds are easily manipulatable, and you can trick them to be your friends into doing jobs for you, kind of like a whole Tom Sawyer painting the fence type thing. And tip number five for gardening tips from the old pal Hank Schlitz, the Game Cop, is don't grow tomatoes. Of course not, you idiot. Why would you do that? Do you want to die? I saw this movie. It's a documentary film called Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and I gotta tell you, folks, this movie is fucking insane. They're rolling around and crushing people to death, and I love pasta sauce. I'm old country eating all that spaghetti. I love it so much. I understand that you want to have homemade sauce. It's good, okay? But the only people that should be growing tomatoes are heavily armed professionals. This is not something to be taken lightly. And I honestly think it's unconscionable that they're selling the seeds in the stores without any kind, even a warning label saying, if these grow to term, they're going to likely kill you and your family. And, I don't want that to happen to you or me or anybody else, okay? We've had too many tomato-related deaths in this country already, and it's so hard to heal from these tragedies. So, tip number 5 from Hank Schlitz, the Game Cop, is don't grow tomatoes, dummy, unless you want to die. You don't want to die, do you? I mean, why are you growing this food if you want to die? It seems sort of antithetical to the whole point, you're growing food for sustenance, and then you're going to grow a vegetable that's going to kill you? Come on, think with your brain for once, dum-dum. That's why you need to come to me, Hank Schlitz, the Game Cop, because you don't know what to do, you don't know how to live, and you certainly don't know how to garden, but maybe you do a little bit now, thanks to me, giving you all these great gardening tips. All right, folks, I hope you enjoy that. And to my subscriber, thank you for keeping me alive one more day. I'm sorry to put this horrible burden on you, but that's the way it goes. You're the only person that subscribed to this, and now you have a responsibility. You have to watch every single video. If you don't, you're literally killing your friend Hank Schlitz, and you don't want to do that. You won't be able to sleep. And I got to tell you, if I die, I'm going to be a very, very vengeful spirit, and you're going to be the first person I'm coming for because you gave me the most false hope by subscribing to my channel and then not watching any of my goddamn videos. So I hope you watch this video and you take it to heart and you tell all your friends because that's your job now because you subscribe to my channel, all right? So take your responsibility seriously for once in your life, and I'll talk to you soon because I'm Hank Schlitz the Game Cop. Bye-bye, Game Cop.